everyone, I'm Katrina and today I have my to be read pile for the Banned Bookathon. Now if you're not sure what the Banned Bookathon is, I will leave a link to my announcement video down below, but basically it's a readathon happening from the 25th of September until the 1st of October, and during that week you read books that have been banned or challenged in the past, and this also coincides with Banned Books Week, and the theme for the 2016 Banned Books Week is diversity. So when I was trying to cut down my large TBR pile to something a little more reasonable, I decided to choose the more diverse books. So for the Banned Bookathon there are 3 books that I definitely want to read, but I also have like 6 other books that I could possibly pick up. Some of them are diverse, some of them not really, so I do have a little bit of choice if I do end up reading all 3 of these ones. The first book that I want to read is kind of a reread, and by kind of I mean I read it but not like the last third. It was one of my high school required readings and I never got around to finishing it, unfortunately, which I'm really annoyed about, and I've been wanting to read this again and actually finish it for a really long time, and that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Now I've borrowed a couple of books from the library which have been really helpful resources when trying to decide on books to read, and that's these Banned Books ones by Robert P. Doyle. There's different editions. This is the 2010 edition. I don't believe that there are any later ones than this. Instead there are kind of infographics that talk about the most frequently banned books each year. But in these physical books they have the top books banned in a certain year, as well as a list of over 1,800 books in this edition at least, of books that have been banned or challenged in the past. So I had a lot to choose from. And in here as well it tells you the reasons why the books have been banned. So if we're looking at To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, there's a pretty large entry here because it's been banned multiple times throughout many years. So from what I can gather, some of the main reasons as to why this book has been banned is because of some of the words used in here, particularly racial slurs. And one quote is, "It conflicted with the values of the community." The next book that I'm hoping to read is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and I've decided to listen to the audiobook of this one. I absolutely love audiobooks and I think they are really great for readathons as well because it helps getting that little extra bit of reading done, especially if you do commute a lot or when there's opportunities to multitask, for example when you're doing chores, cleaning around the house, that type of thing. You can also be listening to an audiobook. So I'm hoping to read The Kite Runner. I have read A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini and absolutely loved it, and I have already seen the film for this one. I actually studied it in high school as well. This one has been challenged several times as well, mainly for the language, violence and sexual content. In terms of the sexual content in particular, I think this is mainly because of the depiction of a rape scene in quite graphic detail. And the last book, which is a pretty definite one on my TBR pile, is The Colour Purple by Alice Walker. This is one that I have borrowed from the library at the moment, and it is an edition that includes The Colour Purple and The Temple of My Familiar. At this point I'm only planning on reading The Colour Purple, though The Temple of My Familiar has been banned as well, so I mean if I'm really interested in it I might end up continuing on, but it is quite a chunky book with both of them. Only this part here is The Colour Purple, so The Temple of My Familiar is a little bit longer. And once again this one has been banned quite a few times, so we have all of these instances here and all of these ones too. The main reasons for why this one has been challenged is because of the language and sexual content and violence. One of the reasons is because it is, quote, smut, as well as, quote, troubling issues about race relations, man's relationship with God, African history and human sexuality. And you know what? I'm really looking forward to reading all of this. So those are the main 3 books that I have on my TBR pile. If I manage to read all of those and I still have time left over in the readathon, I have a few backups. The first one is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. The reason for which that one had been banned is because it could pollute young minds. I'm not sure how, but apparently it could. And if I do get around to reading it, it will be a reread for me. I have read it in the past and really enjoyed it. And then I also have 2 other books which I'm considering, though my library doesn't have either of these books unfortunately, and I'm kind of hesitant to go out and buy some books at this point because I'm trying to cut down on my book buying a little bit. I am behind on my Project 5, so I'm trying to just rein it in a tiny bit. If I do have the opportunity to pick them up at all though, there is Saga Volume 6 by Brian K. Vaughan, the graphic novel, which would be a really good one to break things up in the readathon, and also Memoirs of a Geisha. So I have plenty of books to choose from with the Banned Bookathon coming up, and if any of you guys are participating as well but aren't too sure about which books you want to read for it, I will include some links down below to various lists about banned books. If you can get a hold of any of these books as well, they are really great. Like I said, this one has a list of over 1,800 100 banned books. So that's a very good reference point. I got this from my university library. They're by Robert P. Doyle, so have a look and see if you can find them anywhere, because I would definitely recommend them. But apart from that, I think that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you're also really looking forward to participating in the Banned Bookathon. Don't forget to also follow the official Twitter, which is linked down below. I will be hosting myself and a couple of others which have yet to be announced. We'll be hosting some reading sprints on the official Banned Bookathon Twitter, so keep an eye out for those during the week. And also keep an eye out for my Banned Books Week video that will be going up in the next few days. I'm going to be just talking in general about censorship and banned books, and just highlighting some of the really interesting books that have been banned for interesting reasons. When you do post your TBR pile as well, please leave a link to that in the comment section down below so I can go and take a look and see which books you've decided to read during the week. And I guess I'll see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!